Hey, in just a second, you're going to hear from our friend Michael Head. He's the extended family pastor here at First Baptist Cleveland. His job is to connect with people just like you and to shepherd people who want to go all in with Jesus Christ. And today, you are privileged to hear a portion of his story that I know is going to be a blessing to your life. Check this out.
Thank you so much, Pastor Jordan. Man, it is awesome to be here with you all right now. And I don't know if you were here just a second ago when we were singing such a beautiful song about how the enemy meant things for evil and God turned it for good. And that's kind of a lot going on right now in our world, where the enemy is meaning for a lot of things to be turned to evil, and God is just making it all for good. And then the really key part of that song, if you were with us, if not, I want you to go back and listen to it. But the key part was seeing a victory. That we are seeing a victory. And there's been many moments in my life, and many of your lives most likely, where you didn't see a victory coming. Where maybe you were in a tunnel of darkness, and you're in a place where you were like, there's no end in sight. Today, I really hope that you will see an end in sight. And for me, let me just say, one time I was doing this mud run, which is never a good idea, period, where I was running about 6 miles, and every few places along the path, there were different obstacles where you got to climb over a wall. There's people climbing over you. There's a lot of things happening. Well, the worst part of the entire run for me was when you had to go through a tunnel. And I'm in this tunnel, and I was scared for 2 different reasons. Number one, I was afraid I was going to get stuck in the tunnel. Why? I was a little bit larger at that time, and the tunnel and I did not get along. And so I was like, I've got to get out of the tunnel or I'm going to get stuck. The second thing that I did not like about that tunnel and that darkness was I didn't see the light at the end of that tunnel. I was in the mud. It was gross. It smelled bad, and it was really scary. And maybe for you, these past 6 months, you've been in that tunnel. Maybe for you, since 2020 started, it has been like, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm in some mud and I can't move and things are just really hard. Today, my prayer is that when I get done, that you will see the light at the end of the tunnel, because I promise you it is there. For me, my real life tunnel hit me in November of 2018. This tunnel was a tunnel of emptiness, of hopelessness, of pain, and deep, dark depression. I believe that this God that I had preached to so many about, that this God that I had led people to, this God that I thought was living inside of me had given up on me. This tunnel of darkness was so gross and so disgusting that I believed that the only way to escape this darkness was to take my own life. But why? Why was I in a deep depression? Why was I so sad that I couldn't even talk? Why did I give up on God? Why was I so extremely triggered at loud noises, men, alarms, colors, smells, sirens, and even people praying for me and giving me encouragement? Why was I unable to even think when I was in a large crowd? Why was the thought of hurting myself the only thing that really made me feel good? Why was I so close to ending my life until somebody else walked in the room? That is when we had to find out the why. And so my wife and 6 very close friends encouraged me to go to a place called On-Site. And at On-Site, which is in Cumberland Furnace, Tennessee, is a place where you can go to work on your mental health. And I went to a place there called Milestones. And as this was happening, and as I decided to go there, as I crawled in to On-Site, not wanting to go there, and as I was there, the why started to become a little bit more clear. And the light at the end of my tunnel started to faintly appear. I spent the next 45 days away from my family. I spent the next 45 days working extremely hard. I spent the next 45 days working hard through unprocessed childhood trauma. You see, before all I went in, my last memory as a child was when I was 13 years old, when I was sexually abused at a camp. That was my last memory. I was 13. That's all I could ever remember. People would say, well, Michael, tell me about when you were a child. Tell me when you were 5. Tell me when you were 6. And I could never, ever get there. I didn't remember what school I went to. I didn't remember who I hung out with. I can never remember my friends. And what happened was, all of a sudden, all of these memories started coming back up. All of these memories started to just fly up to the top, and I did not know what to do. That childhood trauma had been internalized into my brain, and it stayed there. My body did an amazing job. Our brains are fantastic at protecting us so that we can live. And my body and my brain pushed all of that stuff down so that I could live. And what did it push down? It pushed down abandonment. It pushed down neglect. It pushed down physical and sexual abuse from the ages of 5 to 11. And all of a sudden, in November 2018, it all came up. The way that my body protected me, the way that my brain worked, was that my subconscious learned that as a child, if I can just perform and I can be perfect, nobody will hurt me. And these actions as a child that my body used to protect me, this performer and being perfect, it actually moved into my relationship with the Lord when I accepted Christ at the age of 13. I figured if I could just be perfect and I could perform, that God wouldn't hurt me and that he would love me. These actions continued into a relationship with my wife. If I could just be perfect and be a great husband and be a great dad and never mess up, that she would never leave me. These actions continued into me being a pastor. If I'm perfect and I preach well, you will like me. My body was protecting me. And at this tunnel that I was in, I did not ever think that I would see the light at the end of this tunnel. And when I was sitting there at onsite, the first word that I said out of my mouth was exhausted. I was exhausted. I was so tired from trying to keep these things down. My body was done. And it was time to start to walk in freedom. And what I learned there is that I don't have to do anything for anybody to love me, including Jesus Christ. I had walked away from God. He never walked away from me. The light was there. I just never saw it. And what I learned right there is that Jesus Christ is that light. And we don't have to do anything. And if we look in Matthew 3, verse 16, Matthew 3, verse 16, and verse 17 says this: as soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water, and at that moment heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting on him. Verse 17, this is key. I want you to catch this. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my son, comma." It's hanging out there. This is my son. A voice from heaven, this is my son. And look what he says next. Whom I love. Whom I love. What did Jesus do up to this point? Nothing. He hadn't healed anybody. He hadn't walked on water. He hadn't opened the eyes of the blind. He's done nothing. And his Father is saying, I love you. And look what he says next. I am well pleased. I am well pleased. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. He loves us no matter what, no matter where you are, no matter what your tunnel looks like right now, no matter how dark it feels, no matter how disgusting your life you think it feels right now. Let me tell you something. There is a light and it's coming. I promise you. I've walked in the darkness. I walked into on-site not wanting to be alive, and I walked out 45 days later truly alive. I see people different. I love people different. I live different. And I am thankful for mental health professionals. I am thankful for a diagnosis of complex PTSD that helps me know how to heal. I am thankful for Lucy, my prescribed PTSD service dog that helps me to be able to live my life. I am thankful for a wife who didn't give up on me and stood with me. I am ultimately thankful for a Savior that never stopped shining his light in my life. And I'm thankful that the darkness didn't win. And it won't ever win. And I walked into the light.
together today. Thank you once again for joining us online and being a part of this powerful service that God has used in incredible ways already. We're already hearing from some of you. And if you are one of those who haven't yet connected with us at ExtendedFamily.church, I really want to encourage you to do so. If you're wanting to find out more about what it is to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, go to ExtendedFamily.church, hit the button that says Saved, and give us the information that we're asking for. Man, we're going to connect with you. We're going to send you a copy of God's Word. We're going to send you some resources as you begin your journey with Christ. We want to connect with you today. And so, man, visit that website right now. Don't give the devil a single second to talk you out of it. Also, if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, I want to be a part of this ministry, and I want to see this ministry grow and expand into even greater places, you can do that by connecting with us at ExtendedFamily.church and clicking the Give button. We'd love to have you join us in resourcing this ministry so that we can make disciples that make disciples all across the world. Thanks again for joining us today. Stay connected with us throughout the week. You can do so at ExtendedFamily.church, or you can go to FirstBaptistCleveland.com. Thanks again for worshiping with us. We'll see you next Sunday.